All right, so you probably have your model set up, ready to go, and you're wanting to start some skin work. Sometimes when starting a new model, I like to have a bit of a play around and come up with a skin that's not really made for anything, just to get a feel for the shape and what works, what styles work, where the scales are, and see how generators appear. Um, During this video, we're going to have a look at how to use a concept that you've been sent, you've found, you've made, or you've commissioned. I have commissioned two skins for EO from Kalmansielu. They're really, really good. I love their style, and their commissions are open at the moment. So I will open up what they've sent me. So they've sent me through this EO. I'll bring all of the layers back up specifically for this, because this will be a really good showcase of how different layering works excuse me, between 2D software and 3D, because they don't always translate very well. So they've done this like, this is a really complex skin that we can really get into the details with. So we have the complex version, and we have a simple version as well. Again, there's a lot of things that we can do with this because of all of the spotting, and all of those little details can be adjusted as we go. So I'm going to showcase with the complex skin because they've done this in a really nice way to show how the layering doesn't really translate well. So you can see they've got some layers on top of other colors, whereas in Substance Painter, it has to be all one color on top of or below another. So you can see the white that we've got here, but we've got it in a few different spots. So in this sort of scenario, it can be tricky for the 3D artist to see where exactly all of the colors are and how they can make that into 3D. In that sort of situation, you can ask the 2D artist to send it through broken down, send through the file like Kalmansielu has done here, or you can get them to do an RGB, which shows exactly where the colors are. The other way, which we're going to show, is how to translate that to the 3D model, and it just makes it a bit easier to see where the colors are supposed to go. So I have the skins open in my files, or I should do. There we go. So we've got these ones. We're going to do this in two different ways. One way may work better for you than the other. It's whichever you prefer. So our first way is using an external app called On Top Replica. So what this does is it projects a tab that you've got open elsewhere over the top of other apps. So you can see I've opened it at the moment, and it's asking me to right click. So I will. Now I will open the concept that I want to use. So in that case, I'm going to open this in Photos. We'll put that onto another screen. We will select that window, which will be this one. So you can see we've got this now on our screen. With our 3D model, we want to go to orthographic. This will make it a bit nicer to translate because it shows everything on the same level and it's more likely to match up. If you have it on perspective view, it will be warped and it won't translate as well. So we will grab our tab and get the very finicky corner and make that as big as we need to. We can right click, change the opacity to what you like, so say 70%, or if you want, we want 50%, just so you can sort of see where the layout is supposed to be. And adjust as you need to. Sometimes they won't exactly line up. It depends on how the line art was drawn, whether it was drawn from a side view in-game or from the direct model itself, like we've got in Substance Painter now. So you might need to move things around a little bit to make it to match up. So you can see we've got the frill matching, but the legs are not. So just choose a place to start, line that up, and then you can sketch on the colors there. To have it open and click through onto Substance Painter, you can go to Advanced after right clicking and enable click through. So this will allow you to only play with the app that's underneath, and you cannot touch or move this screen. To close it or to make edits, you need to select the tab that you've got open, and then you can change things around. The other way I'll show you, so I'll close on top replica, is a little bit more direct and can be a little bit easier to add to the model. So we've got our EO open. We're going to add a fill layer. In the fill layer, we right click and add paint. And we will change to projection, which mine has automatically done because I've been playing around with it this morning. From here, we have base color. So you want to grab your concept, I've got the image here, and add it into base color. That will add it into Substance Painter itself. Then from here in your paint layer, while you're still in projection, you can paint it on. You can also add symmetry, and that will add it on both sides. Oh, hang on. Minute click off. There we go. So you can see we've got that projected on now. From here, it's basically how you would like to work. So you can change the opacity of here. You can add in your colors to start sketching it in and then render it down later. So I will show again just in case, and we'll do it with the other concept this time. So we are orthopedic view. We add a paint, right click, add paint, or add fill, then add paint. Then we drag over our concept that we want while we're in perspective view. Close that, open this one, line it up. And while still in perspective, paint it on. Then we can have a look. Adjust as you need to and repaint as you need to, but that's pretty much how you get it onto the model itself. Otherwise, you can freehand. It just does take a little bit longer and can sometimes make it a bit tricky with where the colors are, but it can also come out with a really nice freehand look. A bit more your style, or you have a bit more freedom with doing that, because working this way I found I work a hell of a lot closer to the concept, but still adding bits and pieces as you go, so knowing where the colors go and how to elevate it to that next realism level. I do hope that helps and makes it a little bit easier in the future.